Welcome to the place where you'll see more stars than Patrick Moore. It's still number one. It's Top of the Pops. Tonight, Nick Carter, Pink, Divine, Richard Ashcroft, the Foo Fighters and more. Plus the new number one. But first, let's go to Madagascar.
Tonight, Top of the Pops took the best and the worst for 2002 in Madagascar. Let's go back to January last year and see what happened.
It was a great month for the courtiers, with sales hitting 3.5 billion from the debut of the January sale. After that, things were not so good. The top band in Madagascar, the Presidents, decided to split and had a very public row over who would be the new band leader. Number 2 band, the Courtiers, did their best with the Warehouse Sale and their XY a Week album, but sales were down and the song of the month was...
Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry?
In March, despite daily television appearances and their very own boutique show and a new promotion for Easter, the Courtiers still couldn't get to the number 1 spot and sales dragged. The President's split dominated the media and our song for February was...
That I've been crying over you, crying over you.
In April, the Courtiers put out a new release called LPG, but despite their best efforts, sales were still sluggish. The Presidents had still not resolved their leadership battle and the very public row continued. Desperate to keep a presence, the Courtiers cut costs to stay afloat, but contractual obligations to their TV show and a hope consumer confidence would return kept the ASR high, so their song of the month was... In May, World Cup fever swept the planet, but in Madagascar, the President's row still dominated the press. Meanwhile, the Courtiers released a new single, a tribute to the World Cup, and despite a promising start, the public were too distracted. The Courtiers continued with the World Cup in June, and also released a second promotion dedicated to Independence Day. But people's minds were still on who would be the next band leader for the Presidents. Nevertheless, the Courtiers put on a brave face and battled on. Their Top of the Pops for June was...
And I've been taking care of business every day, taking care of business every week.
By July, the Courtiers were at wit's end. Cuts were made to the budget to trim costs. With not a hit single since January, they fought back with low-cost promotions. Flyers were handed out in the street in an effort to attract people. Mobile stores and trucks went out on roadshows. In August, the new band leader took over the Presidents, while the old one went to France to reform with another band with some old colleagues.
Votre dos vous fait-il souffrir?
Finally, the Courtiers had the chance to get to the number 1 spot. Their new single titled National Bedding Month made some progress on the sales charts, but it was still down from last year. The Courtiers toured the town with more mobile stores to enlighten the public on just how good they were. Their song of the month was...
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
In September, Court celebrated their first birthday and released a new promotion and a sale to celebrate. And the results? Incredible! Sales went through the roof, putting the Courtiers back on top at last. Their hot single for the month was... October saw the release of the fantastic promotion. The Courtiers dazzled the public with new products, new prices, a colourful catalogue and new TV commercials. They also went on tour and set up a permanent presence in Ansara Bay with sell-out performances. Is there no stopping these guys? Still at number 1, their Top of the Pops was... After the success of Ansara Bay, a new venue in Tamatave was opened in November. And although it took a little longer to get going, Tamatave zoomed to the top. With Christmas around the corner, the Courtiers released their Christmas promotion, busting all the charts since records began in Madagascar. But what added to the success of Christmas was the introduction of no deposit.
Halo, studio maeno. Lasa any amin'ny kaorts izy. Tsy misy petrabola voalohany ao amin'ny kaorts.
The Courtiers had well and truly arrived in Madagascar, and their hot song for Christmas was
Money, 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 must be funny in the rich man's world.
So, what will 2003 bring to the Courtiers? Stay tuned on Top of the Pops, but first let's look at the star profile of this amazing group. Key business objectives for the year were to open 3 new stores in 2002. Achieved! Despite the crisis, they managed to open 2 of the 3 stores planned for the year. Increase the credit to cash sales ratio. Achieved! Compared to week 39 last year, credit was running at 53%. By week 39 this year, it had increased by 22%. Build a strong HR base through training and experience. Achieved! With 2 new stores, over 25 staff were trained in various departments, and workshops were conducted through the year by visiting consultants. Now, let's take a look at market conditions and turnover. The public dispute between the presidents had a great impact on market conditions, driving down the economy. But, as the record shows, we managed to increase our bookings compared to the third quarter last year by 50%. So, how did they achieve all this? Simply through strong fun-filled promotions and initiatives such as mailers, special credit offers, and by taking it to the streets. The roadshows and attendance at the Grand Braderie, the national market, brought the Courtiers to everyone in the street. There was no escaping the court's message of credit for everyone, no matter who you are.
Well, that's it for Madagascar for 2002. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next year. But for now, it's back to Lisa in the UK. Goodbye.
Thanks, Roy. Well, aren't these Courtiers down in Madagascar just something else? What a great band they are. Well, as they've stolen the number 1 spot, we'll just have to leave you with the number 2 song tonight. But a word of warning, you'll never get the chorus out of your head. This is Last Ketchup. See ya!